Everybody's a hater until you win. And that's the thing. Everybody like, you can't do it, you can't do it. But when you do it, oh, now they want to be on your back. Woo! That gets me every time. Hey YouTube, it's Cutt here, and we're bringing you another one. Oh yes. So today we're going to go over the movie. We're going to do a movie review of Gran Turismo. Okay? We're going to go into that in a moment. Remember, I got my Patreon going. Okay? If you join the Patreon and you do the official Patreon, you get early access. That's the lowest tier. Now, if you like want a little bit more, you're going on over to the all access Patreon, which is the second tier, and not only do you get early access, but you also get some awesome wallpapers monthly. Okay, we talk about desktop, computer, and phone wallpapers. Okay, and the one that's for this month is Pop-Up Girls. Okay, moving on. And if you want to get a little bit more, you want all that plus more, you want to join the VIP, because if you join the VIP, you get free digital packs each month, rather that be vectors, brushes, 3D models. And the good thing is, no matter when you join, you automatically get the free digital version of the Cutt coloring book, which has 63 pages of fan art. And you also get the first digital pack, which is sitting right in the middle right there. No matter when you join, you automatically get that. And the first two brushes are the brushes I use the most often, the Cutt brush. So definitely want to check that out. Okay, so this is a big deal because I went on ahead and saw Gran Turismo yesterday. And we're going to go on and talk about it. Now, don't worry. Don't you dare worry, because this is a non-spoiler review, if I can get my images right. You know, it's never moving smoothly. Okay, this is a non-spoiler review because I like surprises, and I hope you do too. Okay? So don't you dare worry about the spoilers. If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification bell, because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. So let's get started. Okay, so what is my ranking? It's a 10 out of 10. I know. It's a 10 out of 10. I couldn't find anything to bring it down. I was trying. So it was like, well, if I can't find anything, 10 out of 10. It's shocking because I did not expect this movie to be this good. Really good movie. What's the vibes? So the vibes is giving me Top Gun. It's giving Top Gun. I couldn't find another combo because I like to say it's giving me a little bit of this with a little bit of that, but I couldn't find a little bit of that. So yeah, it's giving Top Gun, not in a sense of like a war movie or like that, but just the action, you know, these machines that you're controlling, you know, with these top speeds, like it's giving that type of vibe. But I liked it better than Top Gun. Although Top Gun was really good, but I liked it better than Top Gun. I would have gave Top Gun a 9 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. Just saying. Okay, moving on. Should you see this in theaters? Yes. I feel bad because I feel like this is one of those movies that is so good, but nobody knows it. Nobody's going to go see it. I wouldn't even have saw it. Had I not had this A-lister for AMC, I probably would not have saw this movie until it hit streaming or digital or something. So that's why I'm here to tell you, go ahead and watch it. Watch it in the theater. It wasn't in IMAX. I just have IMAX as my image. I don't think it's in IMAX. If it was, I think it would have been even better, because the bigger the better with this type of movie. So yeah, if you could see it in the movie theater, if you don't have any other movies to watch, also honestly, it's like the last good movie for a little bit. So go ahead and see it. There's nothing else to see anyway before the summer is up. Okay, so go check that out. Do you need to watch the preview film? There is no previous film. This is, so just so you know, this is a video game. So this is a PlayStation movie, which is really, really unique. And it's a true story. It's based off a true story, which I think that's the key. That's the key. Because if it wasn't based off a true story, I think it would be kind of like whatever. But because this is a true story, it just gives this movie so much energy, so much power. Because okay, of course, I'm sure they exaggerate some stuff or whatever, because that's all true stories do. But the fact that this is a real person who they really had a contest, and they allow the people who are actually good at the game to go against each other, and whoever's at the top could be a real race car driver, and he's still a race car driver to this day. That is an amazing movie arc. That is a great story arc. So do you need to have played the games to watch the movie? Not necessarily. I've played the games before. I don't know it that much. I'm not that much of a fan of like race car games, but I can tell that if you are a gamer and you really know this game, you would really appreciate the movie even more, because you're like, oh, I know that, I know this, or this and that and this and that. But if you don't know anything about it, you're not going to be lost at all whatsoever. So don't even worry about any previous situation. Okay, let's talk about the director now. I know how I am with names. This was easy. His name is Neil. The first name was easy. Blom Camp. I don't know, Blomkamp. So at first I was looking at his previous directed movies. I was like, I don't know any of these. But then I saw two that I knew, and so I think he's directing Alien 5. So I don't know if it's been on pause or if it was stopped or whatever, but I think he's directing Alien 5, which isn't out yet from what I was seeing. And then he did the Halo movie, which is another game movie. I heard it didn't do too good. I wasn't interested in watching it, and I'm probably never going to watch it. It looks good, but I didn't expect it to turn out to be good. Amen. So he really, with Gran Turismo, if he does well there, he might do really well with Alien 5. So just keep that in mind. All right. Let's talk about the cast. So it wasn't like a really like big cast. But the three main characters, well, there's one main character and two supporting characters, were the best part of this whole freaking movie. Okay. So the main character here, this guy right here, so he was actually, this is his first name is Archie. He actually was the son in the TV show C on Apple TV. It was discontinued after the 3rd season. It was a really good show, but it didn't perform well. Basically on the show, everyone is blind, born into a blind society, so they have to live a certain way. But he and his sister can see. It's a really good show. Even the concept sounds good. Anyway, he did a really good job. And then we all know David. I said we all know. I don't even know his name. David Harbour, but we know him from Stranger Things. And when you first see him in the movie, you're like, Stranger Things. And then like the next scene, Stranger Things go out the window, and you're just really taking him. He plays really good. The like mean jerky with a good, firm, loving heart. Like he plays that character so well. And that's what he is here. Like, he's kind of mean, he's kind of a jerk, but he has a warm, big heart. You'll fall in love with that character. And then you have Orlando Bloom, who also did a really, really good job. He's just like the believer, or like has this. You know what he reminds me of? If you saw the Tetris movie, he reminds me of the guy who was trying to get Tetris off the ground. He has that same energy of like, no, we can do it. He also reminds me of the guy off of Air. Look, I don't know names, but I remember faces. The guy off of Air who really believed in Jordan. That same energy of like, no, I see the vision. A vision. He's a visionary. He's the visionary. That's exactly what he is. And visionaries are important. If you could be your own visionaries, it's great. But if you can't, find you a visionary. Okay? Find yourself a visionary. All right. So, hold on now. So, okay, moving on. The villain. So I meant to this time I actually put it in my brain to do it and didn't do the thing. I was supposed to put all the villains here, the villain list, okay? All right, there's 2 villains here, or like 3. There's society and the professional racers, and then we'll talk about the next villain next. So the society and the professional racers, they kind of stand as the personification of evil. So like they are the ones that like really don't think this is going to work. They're like, this is crazy. We don't believe in him. You ain't do it. Like, it really reminded me of that comedy conversation of like the stand-up comedians who've been doing it for years on stage, and then the comedians who are coming out of nowhere on social media, whether they're doing well or not. And that conversation of like, we've been doing it for so long, where you come from? Or, you know, like an influencer or like a actor who does stuff on social media compared to an actor in real life. It's that same thing. Like, okay, you're just a gamer. You're not a real race car driver. That type of, so the society's idea of what a real race car driver really is. And there's some points in that understanding, but that understanding stops growth, and it stops, and it closes the door for opportunity. So that's what makes that the biggest villain. And then the secondary villain falls under the category of the bully. And I feel like there's always, the bully has this is no spoiler, this is not about him specifically, but I'm just thinking about the bully in any like movie show. The bully can switch over very easily to being a good person, because the bully has no real motives besides self-hatred. Bully has self-hatred and is projecting it onto the things around him. So usually if the bully can fix the self-hatred, they stop being a bully. So I'm not saying that's happening or didn't happen with this character. That's not what we're talking about. But I just thought about that as when you see a bully in a movie, their way of being is really unique. They can either go extreme over the edge where they're up now ready to kill you, or they can do that killing and then realize, oh, it's really me. And then they become friends. So, not saying that's what's happening here. I'm not giving anything away. But the character's name is Nicholas Kappa. And, he's like the bully. He's just kind of like in the way. Not really like the main problem, but a big problem. And you'll see that. And there's some moments where you want to punch. Usually, I feel like out of all type of villains, the bully is the one you just want to punch. Like, you just be like, I just want to punch you because you're really making this annoying. Not all villains are annoying, but the bully is always annoying. The bully is always annoying. Okay, so what's the message? There was a lot of messages, I think, but like the core message is believe in yourself even when no one else does. If you want to do something, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what society says, what your job says, what your family says, what your friend says, and what you say to yourself. If you know you want to do something, it is possible and it can be done. I don't care what stakes it may take. I don't care what standing in the way. It can be done. And that's what this character right here stands for. Because actually what he wanted deep down was literally impossible. And then the possible was made for him. And then he just had to fight really hard. He had to work really hard. Not just, I don't think he was even, it's not about working hard to convince people, but just working hard to convince yourself, really. Because even though you think you want something, you don't know how really you want it until you really get down with the get down. Okay? Just saying. All right. And then there's a caveat side of this message, because everybody's a hater until you win. And that's the thing. Everybody like, you can't do it. But when you do it, oh, now they want to be on your back. Woo! That gets me every time. Okay, calm down. And I'm not saying, okay, because there's two sides of that too. There's the people who are like hating on you, and then now that you won, or now that you're a winner, or now that you're better, oh, now they're your friend. That's fake. But then there's some who really didn't believe in you because they didn't think it was possible. Then you prove to them that it's possible, and they had a change of heart and mind. Those are two different types of people, but it's hard to tell from the surface. From the surface, they all look like haters, so you need to know your people. Ooh, I could go all day on that one. All right, let's get on over to cinematography. Now, let me start with saying this. Today is the day that I stopped saying this line. I'm not really into sports movies. That line has to go. Today, I'm no longer saying, I stopped. Because I used to say, because I'm not into sports, which is true. I'm not into sports. So then that translated to I'm not into sports movies. But then when I look back at all the sports movies I saw throughout of my life, there's not one sports movie that I didn't like. There's not one. And all of them are at least an 8 out of 10 or higher. I mean, Remember the Titans, amazing. a Waterboy. That was a comedy, but it was a sports movie. Hilarious. Like Any Given Sunday, really good. What's another? There's so many. There's so many sports movies. There's not one I saw that I didn't like. Air is not a sports movie, but it's a sports movie. Amazing. So it's like I gotta stop because this was amazing, and I was like, no more will I say that. So I am into sports movies. This was phenomenal, and the cinematography is one of the things that took it all the way overboard. The cinematography, the angles of the cameras, they figure out so many different ways. We're gonna show the street, we're gonna show the back of the car, we're gonna put the camera on top, we're gonna look through they thought about all different type of angles. We're gonna hit a drone here, we're gonna go from the ground, like the cinematography, the lighting, everything. It was a really good movie, you guys. I feel bad it's not going to go. I already know because people they already hating on it because it's a game movie, but it's a really good movie. Sorry, I had to get that one out. Okay, so let's talk about oh, that was the cinematography picture. Okay, yeah. See, look at that. And you know what? It's funny because I saw this shot. And I'm really just noticing just now. It was a shot where it just was like attached to the car, and I didn't even connect the dots until just now that's the shot. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, anyway, animation CGI. There's not a lot of it, but there is moments where they want to remind you that his mind is connected to how the game was, and he's bringing some of that knowledge into the real world and vice versa. So they found really clever ways to like dissect the car and dissect his outfits and all these different things. And it happens enough times to feel like it's a theme, but not enough times to feel like it took over the movie. So I really loved that, and it looked good every time. It never felt fake or cheesy. It was seamless. Oh, that was the other movie it reminded me of. I forgot to add it. Ready Player One. So it's giving me a little bit of Top Gun with the action shots, but then it was giving me a little bit of that virtual reality with Ready Player One. That's what it was. And it wasn't until this moment I remembered that. Okay, so let's get on over to music. Oh, that's not music. No. Oh, character design. Usually we don't say character design for a live action situation, but because he's playing these people are real people, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to end credits. Even though he doesn't like look exactly like him, he gave that energy of this youthful person trying to figure out his way in society and his dreams with his family. And I don't know what his personality is in real life, but it gave like a believable act, if that makes any sense. All right, let's talk about music. So, sound design, phenomenal. Cars going by, explosion. Oh my gosh, it was so designed so well with the sound design. But I want to speak about the music specifically. I should have got the name of this. They took a song or two and played, because I don't want to give it away because I feel like it's too much of a key of the story. But they took a certain song and kind of played with it throughout the movie, and it had actual purpose. It wasn't just in the background of the film, but it was a part of the film, and I thought it was good. The reason why I'm picking this particular picture for it is that a spoiler? Think about it. All right, I'm not gonna go far into this because I think it'll spoil too much, but I'll say it helped. I was a little hard on. Maybe that's the only thing I didn't like, which was I skipped the what could be better. The only thing I said that could be better is I still don't know how the race cars work. I don't really, not the driving, but I don't understand the like they're going over and over and over again. How do you know when they come in and they dip back out? I just don't understand. That was the only thing, but it wasn't like they were trying to teach us that, but that was the only thing I had a hard time with. And the other thing I had a hard time with, going back to the music, is I didn't really know, is this current? I mean, I knew it was obviously in the past because it's a true story. He's older now, but it was like some social media stuff, but I'm like, social media isn't the way it is now. And anyway, so that was the only thing I was a little confused about, and I'm gonna leave that here because I don't want to give any spoilers away, because I think this is too much of a spoiler if I go into what that is. Okay, moving on. So let's talk about world design. So there's kind of like two like places. One is the world. So Gran Turismo is about driving in all these different places in the world. Granted, they didn't go that deep into that aspect, but they did go to a lot of different places, and you did feel like, okay, oh wow, they're over here, and then this is happening over here, and then these people are communicating over here. So that was pretty cool. And then I think the best thing, and this is not a good shot, was the tracks itself, like seeing how detailed and amazing these tracks are that they make, and how the game was very intentional on making sure it matched these real tracks. That's what made it easy for these players, well, not easy, but gave them a leeway to come in and say, okay, wait, I know this track, I played it many times, now I'm just doing it in reality. So that was really important, and I think it looked really, really good. And it was, I mean, even this, just how they picked the right shot to make that feel the way it feels. So really, really, really good. Really, really, really good. I know I have costume design written right here. Nothing really special, just kind of like the regular clothes and then regular sports gear. I mean, it looked cool, but nothing really special in that department. Now, when it comes to the end credit, there's no end credit, but there is a, after a true story, they want to kind of show you the connections between who's who, or what are they doing now, and all that stuff. And that was I think that brought the movie all the way around, because you're like, wow, it's just a reminder, this was a true story. So everything you saw, or I'm sure a lot of what you saw, was actual history. This happened, and that was really, really cool to see. So look forward to that at the end. Like I said, it's not an end credit, it's just right at the end of the movie. Okay. Will there be a second movie? I doubt it, because a lot of true stories don't usually have second movies, because especially if they die. I mean, this person's still alive, but if they die, it's really over. And if they're alive, what else is there? They still living their life out. So, I don't think there's going to be a second movie. It would be nice to see this story again, but it's probably not going to happen. It just doesn't have a purpose. Now, what is the conclusion? Overall, like I said, really, really good movie. I really enjoyed this. 10 out of 10. I couldn't find, even the flaws that I said was really more of a personal thing. It wasn't like their fault. So it was hard to find like a problem. So, cause I was going to give it a 9.8 or 9.9, but I couldn't really find anything. So in that case, really good movie. I will watch it again. I'm not going to go to theaters again, but when it gets to streaming, I'm definitely going to watch it again. It was a good movie. Definitely go ahead and check it out. Stay tuned. I have a lot of tutorials being prepared. I'm very excited about. I'm working on a lot of things, so just stay tuned for all that. If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button, because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. That's it. What are you doing? I know you're not about to leave. It's mad buttons down there. You ain't pushed on one of them. You better subscribe to my channel. See you soon.